Cool. So let's get started in terms of what the actual elements are of a high conversion Shopify store, right? So, number one, a clean and user-friendly design. I cannot stress to you how many clients we've had. They're like, my ads aren't working. We go to the website. It's like, bro, like it doesn't look good, right? Which is shocking because Shopify offers these themes, which most of them are pretty clean and user friendly, right? So just make sure you choose a theme that is both of those. And let's talk a little bit more about what that means, right? So the first thing is you want to have an organized layout to the website. You want it to be clear and obvious in terms of user behavior for people to know what's what, to know what's where, and that design should kind of communicate that. Again, most of Shopify's themes that they offer, both the free ones and the paid ones, are pretty good in terms of this, so you should not have a big issue with this. But I've seen some clients and some brands who try to do a little too much and they forget about the user experience. You want it to be user friendly, meaning you want it to be easy for me to move around the site, right? So you want to have an organized layout. Second is you want to have clear navigation, right? You want to make your products easy to find. It's like walking in the Apple store versus walking into like the dollar store, right? I mean, the dollar store, you're not there for the experience. You're there for the cheapness of the products, right? Or the price of the products. But when you walk into Apple store, it's like, oh, nice, right? Like there's watches, there's tablets, there's laptops. So you want it to be more like the Apple store and less like the dollar store. You don't want a bunch of jumbled stuff. You want things to be easy to find in terms of the navigation. The reason why both of these are important is because you may lose 0.1 to 0.3, 0.5% of people that drop off in terms of that website traffic, right? And you may think, all right, well, that's not a big deal. But it is a big deal because when you're scaling your brand, which is what this whole program is about, and you start spending money on ads and more money on ads, those small percentages add up. Right. And so what we're doing here is making sure that you put yourself in the best position by dotting your I's and crossing your T's when it comes to the cleanliness and the user friendliness of your design of your website. So you definitely, again, want to have an organized layout. You want it to be visually appealing, which again, both Shopify themes, both paid and free, should be able to do very easily. But most importantly, you want that navigation to be clear. You want it to be obvious where I can find products, how I can shop. If I need information about the brand, I should be able to access all of those things easily. So again, number one is a clean and user-friendly design. Please do not sleep on this. A lot of times people lean into one or two of those things a little more. So sometimes people have a beautiful website, right? And it's like, oh, this is a minimalist, wonderful design. And then it's like, well, I don't know how to get in touch or how to buy the product. Like, where is the buy button? Oh, we don't have one because you have to email. No. Okay. No. Make your products easy to shop and easy to buy. Please, 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 please. So that's number one. Number two is high quality product imagery. Right. So what does that mean? That means you want high res images that have an easy ability to zoom or do a 360 view on your product. Right. And by high res, that's high resolution for those of you that don't know that. But what that means is you want it to be a clear, crisp image or sometimes a video of your product. Right. Remember, your product pages are selling your product. And a lot of times people sleep on or try to automate this part of the process. Automate the marketing at the later end, right? But don't automate the selling or the human element of building out these product pages. This is your chance to sell your product. You want these images to be high res. You want them to be crisp. You want them to be clear. And you want them to be professional. That does not mean you need a New York Fashion Week level photographer to do all your shoots. That just means you want to maintain a certain standard of quality in those images, right? Another part of the quality of the images is not only them being high res, but you want to have on your product pages, you want to have a variety of images. So we recommend having at least 5 on each product page. And the variety that's in those images should show different angles, different usages of the product, right? So show it from the front, from the back, from the side, show people doing different things with the product. You want to show a variety of different angles, both like from a physical viewpoint of the angle, but also like different usages and different ways the product is coming to life. You want to show what it looks and feels like to have this product. This is your best opportunity to try to do a sales pitch essentially, and you want to show that variety in those images, right? The third thing is, and this is super, super, super important. Please do not miss out on this one. The third thing is detailed product descriptions. This is something a lot of people miss out on, and they just kind of go on Shopify, they type something up, and it's like, okay, this is cool, 2-3 sentences and a picture, and like, here's the product. Like, do not do that. Please take the time. This is your brand. This is your opportunity to sell your product and sell your brand. You need to invest the time and the effort into writing a detailed product description so that it makes people feel better about buying this product, right? So what does that mean? First, you want to be descriptive and you want to be detailed. So we recommend having at least 4 to 6 sentences. I would say somewhere around 8 to 10 in total when you include like the bullet points on the bottom, but you want to be descriptive and detailed. Do not have 1 or 2 sentences up there. At least I would say 4 to 6 sentences that describe your product, right? And in that description, you want to use powerful language, and you want to use language that represents your brand. Again, this is where you sell. Do not hold back. Do not try to be conservative or reserved. Make sure that this language is reflective of your brand. So if you have a bolder brand, or like a brand that is cheeky and makes jokes, then that's where you need to kind of lean into that. If you have more of like a conservative brand, then you want to lean into that. So whatever your audience is, whatever the tone of your brand is, and we'll talk about this later as well, you want to make sure that the language in your product sections reflects who you are as a brand, right? So if it's, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different varieties of who your brand may be, but just make sure that you are leaning into that when you are writing these descriptions. So be descriptive, use powerful language, represent your brand. Fourth, and most importantly, when it comes to detailed product descriptions, is what you are saying in these descriptions, right? So you want to make sure that you are including critical information that the customer is desiring when shopping, right? So what are some of the things you look at when you're looking at, if you're undecided about a product online? Okay, is the material what I think it is? Is the sizing going to be right? What size is the model wearing? All of this crucial information should definitely and absolutely be included in each product description, right? And so that again goes into sizing guides, that goes into material, that goes into directions around how to wash or how to take care of the product itself, right? So you want to make sure that in addition to the sales section, that you have sort of like a section under, and I'll show you one of these examples in a minute, but you want to have product specific information that is going to make the decision to buy your product easier, right? So imagine you are the person that is in a department store and someone calls you over and asks you questions about a product. You want to be the person that's able to answer those questions as a sales associate would at a Zara or at a Target. So you want to use your product description to be able to proactively answer as many of those questions as possible. Because again, this stuff may have small impacts on a one-to-one basis, but when you talk about scaling and growing your business and running ads, this is the kind of stuff that is going to give you more room to be successful at scale. So again, those are 3 of the 10. I'm going to stop here and show you guys some examples of clients that we've worked with that have all 3 of these, and some of the other ones I'll talk about as well. So check that out.